Smiley, smiley.
I heard somebody say Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, come back and dance. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, come back and dance, dance, dance.
I asked the marketing department to have a small dinner tonight to close off the last season and open the new one. We had our sponsors forum this morning with all our sponsors at the clubhouse. We had the media in for a press conference at lunch. So we don't need to elaborate here with speeches and that. It's really a night to honor the achievements of last year from the players. And we closed the season last year a goal away from the championship. As much as it lasted till the 90th minute of the final game, I think we truly lost it a little bit after Christmas when we had a slightly bad patch of 5 games where we collected 3 points. It always looks like you lost it by 1 goal at the end. But a credit to the players. They chased the championship throughout the season. And I think if we can give the guys a real warm congratulations to them. I was asked by one of the media guys from Metro today, KFM and Metro, how do you improve on last year's season? And it's simple. You just got to win the league. Unfortunately, that's where we are. So to improve from where we left off, guys, it's quite simple. We have to win this league. I told my good friend Hans Vonk, who joined us from Ajax Amsterdam, goalkeeper. Thank you. I told Hans at the beginning of last season that we've got a team to win the league this year. And he actually doubted me. He said, I don't think so. Midway, he said, I'm surprised, and by the end of it, we were really, really unlucky not to have finished off. And I can categorically tell you now that the squad that we've assembled this year, as much of the media speculations that we've sold half the team into the European market, I'm telling you from the experience I have that I think we're going to do it again. And this time I think we're going to finish it. We've sold 5 players into Europe for basically it was a promise made to these guys. All the players that come into this club see this as a true theatre and a shop window for the European market because of our association and our partnership with Ajax Amsterdam. And it's difficult to hold on to players that are looking to move into the European market with the strength of the euro. So we let go 5 key players, 6 key players, and they've been replaced. And I'm happy to announce that we've also promoted 4 young players from our academy again this year, of which some of you have already seen play this last weekend. We went and played that pre-season tournament, and we won the tournament again. And we had in the final, we had 4 19-year-old guys on the park playing. So I think the program continues. Our youth development is well and alive, and we will continue producing players. But this is not a night for me to talk to you about what happened and what's going to happen. It's about the rewards and the awards to these young guys. And I said I would announce a key signing tonight. So Crouchy, thanks for... Anyway, I do invite you though, tomorrow 11:30. I haven't seen a bigger team than this. I think there's not a guy under 6 foot here. We're playing them at 11:30. Come and witness how size does not matter. And I'm not going to waffle much further. I'm going to call upon now the MC. I think the awards, are they having dinner now? So we'll have dinner first, and then we'll call on the MC to call up the players that have won the awards of last season. So from my side, all I can say is that we will be at Athlone Stadium at the new season. Unfortunately, we don't have other facilities at this stage in the city. MTN, our new sponsors, we welcome you on board. We'd like to say that we thank you for identifying the work that we've done over the years. We've been a club unsponsored for 4 years, 4 seasons. We've carried on doing what is right for football. We've been honored by many VIPs like Pereira and the likes of Mr. Koza about the work we've done in developing of football and football players. And you got to always remember the guys in the background that keep on funding the club. And those are my fellow directors and brothers and brother-in-laws on the left here. The 4 young guys there, they're broken. They're like, God send thank you, MTN. You guys have come in at the right time for us. And I think the club has never looked in a better situation, what with the transfers as well into the European market. But we are certainly going to be reinvesting and going to be doing a lot of new things. We've got to keep on reinventing ourselves. I remember when we started 8, 9 years ago, teams from the PSL used to arrive in shorts, tackies, combis to matches, and we arrived with Ajax, this new concept, franchise concept from Europe. And there we were with our luxury buses and suit and ties, and it was only a matter of 6 months, and then 2 or 3 clubs started doing the same. And then we decided this website concept is a good thing, and we decided to have our own website. And a couple of months later, 4, 5, 6 clubs have started their websites. So it's a continuation of reinventing yourself, finding new avenues of improving and leading the pack in innovative ideas. But we are cheating a little bit because we've got first world partners. They own 50% of the club, Ajax Amsterdam. So we're always in their offices learning how it's done in Europe. And we have that advantage, and that to me is the most priceless item of this relationship. So you will see new things happening at Ajax Cape Town again coming in the new season. The high performance center that we're looking to set up, new synthetic surfaces that we believe is mandatory in this country to develop players on good fields. So there's going to be a lot of investment going back into the club, and obviously the ever-ending story of player wages, and we're not frightened by that either. So here we are. Enjoy your evening. Thanks very much for being here. And once again, congrats to Portsmouth for winning that cup. And we'll see you tomorrow on the field. And congratulations to all the players that have won awards or will win awards just now. Thank you.
Here to sing the new Ajax Cape Town song, please put your hands together for the strikers Smash, Garth and Lunatic.
Let's go down. Ajax Cape Town. Put your hands up. Come on. Put your hands like this. Come on.
Yeah. Give it up, 1, 2 now. Come on. Give it up, yeah.
Ajax Cape Town. Give it up for the Warriors.
Give it up, 1, 2 now. Yeah. Give it up, yeah.
Let's get in the shot. Bucket number 5,
Another
number 9.
time, it's the Cape Town soldiers. Strike another goal with it on my shoulders.
Intensive, underdogs rising up aggressive. Watch the passes, do a flare for the masses.
Raise your glasses.
Malangabona bafana,
Shahita Maya,
ubethi futhi kumlekaya.
Anakamatraya, sema kubaya, fanasna.
Ajax Cape Town, where your hands at?
Give it up for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Give it up for the Warriors.
Oh, Ajax Cape Town. Give it up for the Warriors.
Yeah. Give it up for the Warriors.
Ajax Cape Town.
It's in the blue, Chasey Facey, the Tangos and the underdogs. Urban Warriors, let's fight your super dogs.
Persian warrior, custom necessary. We put a barrier in your own area.
Where else can you find this? Youth and experience. A-Top's finest. Ajax.
You know we got the skills and the style, so come on, wreck your bed.
Ajax Cape Town. Give it up for the Warriors.
Put your hands up, come
Yeah.
on.
Give it up for the Warriors.
Ajax Cape Town. Give it up for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Cheer. Cheer. Ajax Cape Town. Give it up for the dancers. Put your hands up. Ajax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take it, pass it over
With
the midfielder.
midfielder.
Pass it to an only through. He's a leader.
Kipa nebabibona nashaya imajika namshiya nabese ndipasa liqina.
Ay mama ngichiphele esifubeni aphambanishwele ayinahlele ematheni Ajax ipeputhethe abafaki iskele Ajax Cape Town. Give it up for the Warriors. Yeah. Ajax Cape Town. Give it up for the Warriors. Ahoy, I'm sucker boys. Ajax Cape Town. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very much.
ladies and
Thank you very
gentlemen.
much.
One more time for the circus.
Thanks, John, for the opportunity to be associated with this club. We are committed to this club, and the commitment, as I've mentioned, stretches for the next 3 years. Our portfolio is quite substantial, and now the pressure is on John, Craig, and the team, because they've achieved a great deal without any backing from anyone. And I guess the message is, if you can pull off that much without anybody sponsoring you, we're here now. What are you going to do? So, all eyes on you. We've done our part. We're looking on to you to do the rest. And now there's no doubt in my mind. You will pull it off. And good luck for the next season. To Craig and the boys, thank you very much.
From EXP Sichaba Makume. From Good Hope FM, Kwezi Rapia. While Kwezi makes her way, let's also welcome Brandon Barchis from Good Hope FM, as well as Spiso Mags, who does lunch with Mags 12 to 3, or from Good Hope FM. Fanatic, let's welcome Mark Gooding as well as Laverne Philander. Mark and Laverne. This side, this side. Of course, House of Fanatic responsible for making all the players look so dashing. From Kapsasson, let's put your hands together for Robert Daniels. Here's Robert. Dudley, you shouldn't have run away so quickly. From MTN, Dudley Sikali. Will Conrad Zili, representing Nissen, please step forward? From Old Mutual, Frank Brooks and Sherwin Johnson. From Pimbe, Peninsula Beverages, John Joubert and Dan Davis. From Pick and Pay, Colin. And last but not least, from Planet Fitness, Tasha Pearson. Shamil Toti, could you come forward, please? Young player here.
Personally, I feel amazing, and personally, I would like to thank the team and the coaching staff for helping me get this award. Without them, this couldn't be possible. And this award means a lot to me because it's setting goals for the future.
Can we call Mr. Jeff Paulson to the podium, please? Obviously the winner, but he's away at the moment, so will his dad please accept on his behalf. Most Improved Player of the Year, Mr. Nathan Purser. The top goal scorer of the year is Nathan Paulson. Nathan's dad. Can you come up again? Am I in the way? Am I in the way?
Well, like any parent would be, I'm very proud of Nathan because he has worked hard for this, and his commitment and his consistency after 9 years in Ajax, and his patience has paid off dividends.
Eyong Enoch.
When you put efforts in your game and then you can get the rewards like this, it's very encouraging for me and think for other players too. It's actually getting the awards was not just only about me, it was a teamwork, but it happened that your players or your teammates looked up to you and then you gave a better of yourself. So I think it's a team appreciation of the effort which I put in the club. One of the qualities was just the ability to push my teammates in the game and to command the game, like to impose myself in every game and want to give the best of myself, encouraging my teammates in the field. I think it really contributed to the awards.
Do you think joining Ajax Cape Town has been a good step for your career?
Yeah, actually it's been one of the best so far. It's been one of the best seasons I've had so far in my football career.
What would you like to achieve now in the future?
Or to win more trophies, to get better in my game, and to play professional soccer abroad, which is the dream of every player.
These awards are, I call them special years of service awards. We've never really done this, but we've been around now close on 10 years. We're going to have our 10-year celebration early next year in 2009. And we've had some players that have been with us basically from the outset. And I think they need to be recognized for that. So we put in a few extra awards. And the first one who joined us at the age of 16, turning 17, plus 9, 17, 16, 25 now, is my good friend Brett Evans. Our central defender, Dominic Isaacs. Thanks, Dominic. Well done, my boy. And another one that joined us at the age of 14 and is still playing. He hasn't grown much in the last 10 years. Mfundo Shumana. And one more player who we've actually has come from a different country. He hasn't quite given us the 9 years, but for a foreign player to stay at a club for 5 years, a top professional who's played in 2 Champions League finals in Africa. He's hardly missed a game for the first team as long as he's been fit. And he's given great service to the club. And he's about to leave us now to join another club. But he's given us 5 solid years, and that is my friend from Congo. It's always difficult to come from another country and adapt, especially if you parle français. So to Bageta Dikilu for his contribution. Thank you, Bageta. it now. What That's my special awards, but now there's the CEO's award, and that doesn't necessarily need to go to a football player. In fact, it doesn't usually. It's for a guy at the club. It can be anything from the driver to the chief operating officer to the chief accountant. It's somebody who basically, beyond the call of duty, never questions the hours that he works, continuously plods along, makes it happen, is a self-starter, doesn't need to be chased. He's an example to all his peers, a model employee as we call it. And this year, it's a guy who's put together, I think, the most phenomenal social responsibility project that this club has ever undertaken. In fact, it's probably been the biggest project any football or any sporting organization has undertaken. Within 6 months, we have qualified 70 coaches that go out every day and perform football duties as Ajax ambassadors at schools and in the community where higher levels of crime, youth crime activity is happening in conjunction with the South African police. It was an initiative started by Charlton Athletic Football Club. They came here, it was sponsored by the British High Commission, and with them they took 15 of us across to the UK, and they showed us how to do this project where we have our own Ajax coaches, ambassadors as such, and we've now finally got up to 70 coaches, and this guy has put this whole thing together for us, this particular employee, and he monitors this on a daily basis, ensuring that there's football activity all over our townships, all over our schools and community. We put out workshops at schools. We do 36 schools every 6 weeks. We will approach no less than 70,000 kids on a one-on-one basis using these 70 people. And that project for me is what I think will be the turning point, or the tipping point as we call it for Ajax, when it interprets to bums on seat at the stadium, as Charlton has done over the last 15, 20 years. So without any hesitation, it was an obvious choice for me for this year, and that's my colleague and friend, Riyad Khan.
I just want to say that this award, I know it's an individual award, I don't like there is a team that made the community scheme work. It isn't just me as an individual. I have a fellow colleague who is here somewhere, whose name is Pigalle. He's also out there in schools every day, and we've recently appointed another guy called Jarbo, who are continually out there every day going to the schools. It's not a one-man job, it is the three of us that are out there every day at the schools. I would also like to thank the marketing team, Mark, Shoes and Seleka, who also do a lot of work behind the scenes in terms of providing me with the paraphernalia and basically the awards that we give the kids, writing stories and making sure that people are aware of the community scheme. So this award basically should also go to the marketing team that do a lot of work behind the scenes. So thank you very much. On behalf of my teammates, I want to give a big thank you to our coach, who's been behind us, running after us in the field and out of the field. It's because of his technical, tactical, and practical inputs, and he's been all the way. I want to give a big thank to him, give a big thank you to the chairman, give a big thank you to all the players, because the player of the year in Ajax is the Ajax team and the Ajax board, and
and every other person that participated in the team. So I want to give a big thank you for the team play, and I want to say all the best for the years to come. Thank you.
I feel great to win the award, and because I think I deserve it, because through my career here by Ajax, I done well. I improved in some stage, and I think to have the trophy is very nice.
Now that you won this award, what would you like to achieve in the future with your career?
What I would like to achieve in the future is to play for my country, represent my country, and after playing for my country, I would like to go overseas, play maybe for Liverpool.
Of course, I mean 10 years is a long time at a club. It doesn't happen very often to players, especially at this time of football. So yeah, for me, I love it here at Ajax. I've enjoyed my stay. I've not only been here for 10 years, but I've also played almost every season. Obviously, first season I was with the first team, but I didn't play much. But yeah, I progressed, and they've been loyal to me, and I've been loyal to them. So I've enjoyed it, and they've looked after me. So Ajax believes in the youth. They give the chances to the players. You saw over the weekend, again, another 4 or 5 players made their debuts basically for the first team, and they're impressed. It's always players are very hungry to play, always looking to progress and get to that next level. So yeah, I mean, for me, I went through the same thing. It came very quick for me, progressing to the first team, to the national team, and yeah, I mean, I'm still fighting. I have a chance still to be in the 2010 World Cup, which is my goal. And with a team like Ajax, I mean, I've got all the chance in the world to be there. So, you know, from a small boy, 8 years old, watching Maradona play in the World Cup, for the World Cup is for me the biggest thing. If I make it to Europe, that's, you know, a bonus. It's been a dream of mine. But yeah, I mean, you know, you got to follow the path. But the main thing is the World Cup. I'm doing everything, you know, working hard, training hard, extra gym sessions, and well, that's.
Do you think Ajax is the right place for you to reach that dream?
Anyway, as long as I'm playing, you got to be playing to make that team, to be in that window for the coach to notice you. So Ajax is a good team to progress to. I mean, obviously with the 2010 coming, you're playing at home, you're playing in Cape Town, which will be a venue. So yeah, it's definitely a good chance.
Well, we have a variety of reasons. Primarily, we try and associate the best with the best. That is basically to take a brand that we can marry with ours to go to market. However, there is something that is close to our hearts that Ajax does, and this is community development. It is the only club with a comprehensive, dedicated, community development scheme, and that is key to us. We no longer are looking just for sponsorship areas where we shell out cash, but we actually are looking for places where we make a difference, not only to the clubs or the properties that we sponsor, but also to the communities where they operate, because this is now us giving back to the community, and we use the club as a vehicle. So that is the one area. Also, it's not the first time that we involved with Ajax. Our relationship dates back to 1999. Heady days, starting out. Things have come a long way. They've gotten better at football, we've gotten better at what we do, and it was only natural that we get back together again. And it was a necessary change. We had gotten to the place of that change being necessitated. So the time was ripe, we got together, and as I've highlighted before, what they've achieved without us, and what we believe they can achieve with us, is going to take them that last mile that they need to basically cover to be effective in the league and on the continent. So that is basically for us prize and key. Well, we bring the MTN pizzazz, we bring the MTN factor, and this is multifaceted. It's not only the resource to enable Ajax to do the things that they've always been doing so that they can do those things better, but also to take Ajax on the road, to take Ajax to the people, and basically our market in the Cape, their market in the Cape coming together, forming a formidable partnership. We believe we can take the game to the next level, and that is for us the key. If you look at the season, how it ended, it was marginal. It's that margin that we want to cover. It's that little bit extra that they must win the league, gain their rightful place among the footballing community in the country. So those are the little things, major but little, nonetheless, to achieve the bigger things. I must say, I'm not a local. I don't live in the city. I do visit from time to time, as is the case now. The city keeps coming up with some exquisite things that I'm enjoying, and this is one of them. The function here was very well organized. Everything was exceptional. The company, Portsmouth team being here, for me, it was an experience on its own. And I've been around football for a while. I've seen a lot of these come and go. This was, on its own, quite different. It's amazing to see a club show an initiative and pull something like this off. So it's a credit to them.
Obviously very delighted with the fact that we ended second. Very disappointed that we were so close and we had led the league race for most of the season, and to lose it in such a manner was, I would say, pretty devastating for not only myself but for the players and the club itself. But I think a lot of lessons that were learnt out of that season, and we can look forward, and that is to achieve one better and to go and win the league now. Yes, it's been pretty topsy-turvy. You know, one can't stop a player when he's had a good season, and quite a few players had quite a very good season last year, and we wish them well regarding their careers. I think more importantly for us is to look into our youth, which is the policy and the philosophy of the club. However, we are busy with the recruitment and signings of some big name players to strengthen, because we have to have the balance right. I think last year the fact that we kept everyone together was probably the secret to the success, is that these were experienced players over the last couple of years at Ajax, and there wasn't much instability in the club in terms of movement. This year there has been, and hopefully we can settle the squad down quickly. It has been a turbulent stage at this point in time, and it gives everyone an opportunity. I want to get the balance right in terms of age, experience and youth, just to stabilize the squad. And consistency for me is the most important aspect at this point in time. Yes, as I said now, one has to look at the players that they have to be breaking the door down to get into the team, and it has to be something special to break into the squad. With the youngsters winning the league, I can't look at everyone progressing through. There's a bit of a bottleneck if we do that. For me, it's a case of what positions are we lacking and where to fill them. And if we can't fill them from the youth, we have to go out and buy them, especially now that we have lost Terra, Nathan and Russell. So we have to fill the space by signing one or two big name players and one or two of the youngsters from the youth where they can learn off. I can't have two youngsters running up front of me, because it is a very tough league. Contrary to what everyone believes, the PSL is an extremely tough league. So for me at this point in time is to look where we have to fill the gaps, and then bring in the experienced players where the youngsters can learn off, and to keep the momentum going. Yes, I went into last season and I was posed the question, can I win the league? And I said yes, and probably every coach in South Africa would say yes, they can win the league with what the squad. But I truly believe that with the squad we had, that we could have won the league. Yes, we did sell Terra, and that was a major factor at that point in time in the turning of the season to the race downhill. But for me, we have enough depth in squad, and with the signings, yet we still have to reveal the signings. When we bring them in, and hopefully we can bring them in soon, settle the squad down, and we'll definitely make a true challenge for the title again. Well, I think most important, I think I had a key player in Eyong Enoch, who was, tonight he received Player of the Year. He was truly the heart and soul of the team. He's a true professional, and having a player like that is priceless. That's from an individual point of view. From a team effort, I think it took a while for the players to adapt to my style of play, my methods, my thinking, and once they got on board and accepted, I think that made it for an easier road in terms of training, which led on to a field of play. And once they became open-minded, I think that led to players like Nathan Paulser achieving what he has achieved, scoring the goals, playing the way he has played. And it is a combination. Players were wanting to play for each other. And for me, in this game, it's about the team. And I think there was no single individual, although I mentioned Eyong, who was a heart and soul. You needed a bit of a cog and a little bit of an engine, someone to drive the engine. I think everyone realistically became aware of the fact of the importance to the team. And I think I can't really single out certain players besides Eyong. More importantly, I think I had players who were willing to learn. And for me, that's the key. If you're willing to learn, open-minded, the success was there.
Well, obviously we're disappointed. We were a goal away from winning this league, and I think it was up for the taking, and we didn't do it. And I've got to be disappointed. But you don't really lose the game and the league in the last game. I think we lost it a little bit after Christmas. We wobbled a bit with 3 points out of 5 games. I think we took it easy because we were way ahead, and we paid the price. And SuperSport were worthy winners, and congratulations to them. But we're certainly ready for another challenge in the new season. Well, look, top players became top players because they played in a successful Ajax team. And like they were, there'll be new top players coming up. And you'll see that and witness that from what has come through our development and the 6 signings that we have made. So I'm very confident that in fact we've got a better team than we had last season. And we promised these players that they would get their chance overseas, and we delivered on that. And every year we're going to have the same scenario, but we're very sort of fortunate and blessed that we have a fantastic development that brings through players all the time, and the program continues. I think we've got to be seriously, people have to take us seriously. We have to contend for the championship every year. We have for the silverware. The fact that we do youth development is just the reason why we will continuously be looking for silverware. And selling players is part of our business. We run a business, and we never replace our old shoes unless we have the new shoes in place already. So for us, it's a philosophy, it's a calculated science, and I'm very confident that this club is going to be in amongst the top 4 or 5 clubs in the country for the next decade and so.
Ajax has been trendsetters, trailblazers if you want. What's exciting that we can look forward to?
Well, look, I think every year we've got to kind of reinvent ourselves and look for new ideas, new things that will elevate our level. And I think the first thing we're looking at is, I think we have a particular problem in South Africa with the conditioning of our players, the strength and size of the players that we have compared to the sort of West African kind of players, African player. And we've been challenged there, and I think the sort of high performance centre is something that is critical. We've brought in top experts in that field, and we've spared no expense to make sure that our players are conditioned in such a way that we'll perform at the highest level in terms of fitness and conditioning. That's the one thing. Then obviously the facilities, the tools that we use, bringing in synthetic surfaces so that the development can happen at a high level. Because I think the biggest problem we have in this country is the conditions of our fields. Players and strikers are having to adjust to bumpy fields. They need 2, 3, 4 touches to the ball before they can get it under control. So it's not a true reflection of what they could do on a good park, and it's important for us to have all the facilities available for the best development. And we believe in reinvesting, and we certainly will do that. And thanks to our sponsors MTN, they've allowed us to do that. And obviously the transfers that we've achieved overseas, there's a serious amount of reinvestment into the club, and you cannot also ignore the salary packages of the players. A lot of them deserve a lot more than they're getting, and we certainly will look at that. I want to firstly congratulate my head coach, Craig Rosley, his first season out as a PSL coach. Great job, well done Craig. And to the guys for believing in themselves. And no successful club is made up of any one player. It's a team effort, and the backroom staff and the staff in the office, thank you for what you've contributed, and we can assure our fans we'll be challenging for that title next season.
Said I dance down every chance and honky tonk dance. All my drinks and pills. Both the time I spent behind these county bars. See, Slaw, I drinks a bit. Then he shook his head. Oh Lord, he shook his head. I could swear I heard somebody say, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, come back and dance, dance, dance. Come back and dance, dance, dance. Come.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. There's no warmth when she's away. There's no sunshine when she's gone. There's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Wonder this time when she's gone. Wonder if she's gonna stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just stand on home anytime she goes away. And I know, 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 what do I know, I know, I know. Hey, you're gonna leave me on things, you know, 'cause ain't no sunshine when she's gone anytime she goes away.